Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Cooper. As always, I'm your favorite painting teacher. I have 15 years of painting experience and almost an MFA, give or take 1 week. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about being a student and how to succeed in art school. So what we're going to talk about today is 5 things that you can do to be a better student and get more out of the art school experience. So let's get into it. In order to do this, I need my super special glasses that are broken. So if I don't do this properly, one of these lenses will fall out. Because that's how I do it. Thing number 1, and this is crucial. Show up to class. I can't tell you how many times when I was an undergrad, painters would just blow off class, which is your prerogative as a student. You have the privilege to decide not to go to class. But when you do that, you actively throw money away because you're paying to go to the school, which means you're paying to enroll in the class. You're paying for the time and the access to the instructor. So to waste that is bonkers crazy. And I can't believe so many people would do that. So honor the time and the experience and show up to class. Go to class. I can't emphasize this enough of how crazy it is when people pay to go somewhere. I even mathed it out once. I sat down and did the math and I was like, that person, by not going to class, just lost $300. Ridiculous. So thing number 1 is go to class. And it's important to go to class because you need to show your instructors that you're serious. Having had the opportunity now here to teach, it is not lost on me that instructors want to invest in you, but they only have so much time, energy, bandwidth, and so they invest in the students that they see are serious. And the students that are serious are the ones that come to class and do the assignments and follow up on the information and the resources that the instructors share. So the most basic thing you can do to be successful in school and learning how to jump through all these academic hoops is show up. So thing number 1, show up to class. Very good. Thing number 2 is always follow up. So when you have classes and when you're learning new things, instructors are going to see your work and see how you're thinking about ideas, and they're going to recommend things to you. They're going to recommend readings, gallery shows, artists to look up. And when you have these resources given to you, follow up, which means go to those shows, go to the library, look up those artists, follow up on those things to enrich your own learning, right? If you're going to commit to going to school, which is committing years of your life, time to rent a place, and also going into classes, you want to get as much out of that as you possibly can. So the best way to do that is to take what's given to you and absorb it, process it, discard what you don't need, but keep what you do need, and start to build out your repertoire of touch points. And so when you have resources given to you, take those resources seriously and follow up. Okay, thing number 3 that you need to do to be a successful student is to follow through on projects, assignments. This is a fancy way of saying do your homework. Again, I'm thinking about being a successful student really is just learning how to jump through academic hoops, right? Passing a class is not necessarily an indicator of how smart you are or knowledge. A lot of the time it's half that and half your ability to know how to pass a class or how to pass a test. So if you know how to maneuver through and navigate the academic structures that you find yourself in, you can be a successful student without being a particularly smart or talented artist. However, those things help. So follow through. And also, it's important to do the homework because the assignments are there for a reason. Even if you already think that you have that knowledge base or you actually already know the thing that's being taught to you, there's always a way to challenge yourself and to do a harder version of whatever the assignment is to really enrich and solidify your knowledge. The other thing with that is that in order to really know something and for it to click in your mind, you do have to do it a few times. You have to practice it. So assignments in classes are given to you as an opportunity for you to practice and to put the ideas that you're given to you in class into practice. So take that seriously so that you get more out of the learning experience that, again, you are paying for. So that's thing number 3, follow through. Thing number 4, oh yeah. And I've been guilty of not doing this many times. Thing number 4 is invest in good quality tools whenever possible. A great artist can get by on using bad materials, but having slogged through this myself, I will tell you, it does make a world of difference in terms of your time and your bandwidth and your labor to just invest in better tools. This isn't always an option though, because of course, some students that go into school accrue a lot of debt. They don't have a lot of extra capital to throw at assignments and to throw at projects that require money and tools. And so a lot of the times artists do what they can with what they have, right? Constraints breed creativity a lot of the time. And also, sometimes it's just nice to have the tool you need. It's the difference between getting something done with a screwdriver and getting something done with a drill. You can get it done with the screwdriver, but think about how much faster and how much easier it is to just use a drill. So if you can budget and work up to acquiring all the tools that you need, do that as soon as possible, because it makes a world of difference in your ability to be a professional and productive artist. The other thing with that I'll say is use all the tools available to you. When you're in school, you have access to a library. You have access to local museums. You have access to instructors that are willing to meet with you outside of class time if you make appointments with them. You have access to wood shops, to welding equipment, ideally, or some form of all of these things. So invest in good tools and make use of the tools available to you. That's also half the reason that you go to an art school, is because there are projects you can't do by yourself that you need institutional support for. And institutional support sometimes can mean good resources, good tools. That's thing number 4. Okay, the last thing is thing number 5. And this is huge, and it is to treat every obstacle while you're in school as an opportunity to further your own learning. Every obstacle can be an opportunity for you to learn something new and exercise creative problem solving. So students love to complain. And there is something cathartic about venting to your friends, for sure. That's healthy. Do that. But also don't get too daunted or overwhelmed by challenges in the classroom, outside of the classroom, things happening in your own life as you're trying to work through school. But just think about how everything that's happening to you is also happening for you, right? Challenges, obstacles are there for us, for our character development, for us to grow through exertion, through overcoming challenges. And that's not to say you have to do it all yourself. In your 20s especially, you're learning how to be an adult. And so a lot of that is being faced with challenges you've never faced and not knowing how to summit them. And so what you do is you ask the experts. And so in school, you have access to faculty that have already slogged through everything you're going through. Not always the interpersonal stuff or the personal stuff, but certainly all the art stuff. And so if you can reframe your mindset away from, oh, I'm so frustrated and angry and upset that this is happening to me, and shift to, okay, something is happening that I can't control, and it's an opportunity for me to learn, to grow, to acquire new skills, then I think that mindset shift does a lot for your ability to be consistent and to stay committed to the path as an artist. A lot of people at the first sign of trouble or difficulty will fold and say, actually, that's not worth my time and energy, and I'm gonna go do something else that's easier. But great artists are willing to figure it out. And so figuring it out can mean asking your friend for help. It can mean looking up how to do something you've never done. It can mean investing in different tools. It can mean going to the library and see if anyone else has already had to face this problem. So there are many ways to figure out problems, but just know that everything is figure-outable. Yeah, that's a Tyler, the Creator quote, I think. He's a big believer in everything is figure-outable. So to review, the 5 things you need to do to succeed in art school are: show up to class, follow up on recommendations, follow through on projects, assignments, homework, invest in good tools whenever possible, and treat every problem as an opportunity for learning. I hope you got something out of this. If you thought of something else that has really worked for you as a student, please let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to improve these resources for students. So that's all for this week, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.